We have astrological charts, we have predictions for us that is based on all of our past karmic blueprint. And I believe there's a reason why we are born in a particular family at a particular time in a particular place in a particular country. There's a reason for everything, for where we are born and when and why we are born. You're on level number 3 and you're making a grand decision for yourself, maybe traveling the world or switching an entire career path entirely, or doing something that has not been done in your family lineage. You change the entire course of your destiny. So you do have the power, and that is how manifestation comes in beautifully. You do have the power to create your dream life at the end of the day.
And now, the most important part that I would like to share with everyone, which is also a public service announcement: please don't manifest your ex. I have seen so many coaches have this in their bios, that manifestation coaches, that I help you manifest your ex. Like, if these coaches are motivated genuinely, if they want to help people, they would never, ever, ever write that. If their main motivation is not to earn money but to help people, because manifesting your ex is not only bad for you, but you're also interfering with somebody else's free will. Plus, it's not even good for you in the present moment, because they are out of your life for a certain reason.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Spirit Says. Today we have one of the hottest topics of the spiritual world, which is law of attraction or manifestation, and it's one of our mutual favorites. So for those of you who are new to law of attraction, the basic philosophy believes that our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts are extremely powerful, our subconscious mind is extremely powerful, and whatever we think we attract, because like attracts like, and so wherever we put our attention, our awareness towards, energy naturally flows into it. Now, law of attraction is a very broad subject, so we decided to give it a little direction, a little sequence. And I would invite Manya to explain her approach, her relationship with manifestation, and slowly lead us into deeper conversation about it.
Thank you, Antriksha, and hi everyone. So, law of attraction has been a very hot topic in spirituality. I think majority of people nowadays have been introduced to spirituality through manifestation or law of attraction. So, manifestation can be briefly described as co-creating with the universe and attracting the life that you want, attracting the opportunities that you want consciously, so that you can build the life on those opportunities. So universe already talks to us in whispers, signs, and simple, and manifestation is just a bigger part of those whispers which you can control. So I got to know about manifestation, law of attraction, a long time ago when I watched the Secret documentary, and it was a bit very interesting for me, because that's when I realized, oh, life is not something that happens to us, but we create life, we make life, we control it. So although I was a bit skeptical, I had my doubts about how to do this, but I've come a long way since then, and I have practiced manifestation for quite some times now, and I have gained more knowledge in the process about manifestation. I've studied a lot. So this in this episode, we would like to give you guys some example about our manifestation journey, the important things we learned throughout the journey, and all the trials and errors the mistakes we made, and everything we learned, so that you don't make the same, and hopefully you learn something new today. So let's dive into the episode. So let me start by explaining what manifestation techniques are. Manifestation techniques are techniques that you can use to manifest things that you consciously desire. There are a lot of techniques out there, but my personal favorites are vision board, visualization, and scripting. Personally, I really like scripting because, and I recommend to people who are new to manifestation, because you can write all your dreams and desires down in a great detail, and it helps you decipher the why. So when you're new to manifestation, you are like, oh, I want this, I want this. You look around and everything appeals to you, so you think that because you can now attract anything in your life, you want everything, but that's not true. So scripting helps you decipher that why, and there is this differentiation between what you truly want and this pure compulsion. And if you want, you can make like a vision board after out of it too later. So I also made this mistake mistake that I was talking about in the past, where my first vision board was a Farrago, because I didn't get the clarity first about what I want, and my motivators were also like material motivators, and it was not something that my soul truly desired. And I was solely inspired by the aesthetic or what I should show on Instagram, what how people will see me, which is a terrible motivator to have. You should never have that. So that's why it's best to have that why for manifestation. Sit down, write it down in great detail what you want. So I said vision board. I hope everyone knows what a vision board is, but in case you don't, I'll just give a quick brief explanation. So it's just a visual representation of your goals and dreams, and you can take pictures from Google or Pinterest, print them out, or just stick them together in a wall in your room, or just make a wallpaper in your computer or phone. I have in both. So this is how you do vision board today. But I have a really interesting story on Triksha. So my mom used to make cross stitch in her late teens, early 20s, and she has a lot of hangings in my nanny's house. So there are a lot of them framed. So one day we were sitting and we realized, Mom, this looks like exactly like a street we live on here. So we were really surprised about that. So
Oh.
yeah, that was not like a consciously made vision board, but it was something in her room that got stuck in her. She saw it every day, and subconsciously or unconsciously basically manifested. So yeah,
Mhm.
manifestation is very much real, and it has a lot of layers to it, and it's very nuanced. So to manifest technique, along with techniques, there are a lot of layers that you have to keep in mind, which we'll discuss later and address some blocks too. So for now, I'll ask Antriksha to give her approach about manifestation and some techniques. What do you think about manifestation, Antriksha?
Firstly, I love hearing stories like you just mentioned about your mother. And it's just like magical and kind of mesmerizing to hear stories when people don't know about things, but then in future
Yeah.
something just happens in their life that's already been there on their phones or somewhere around their house.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's like very surprising how it happens. Yes.
I think for me, manifestation has less about the goals and more about a way of living, because
Mhm.
the I would say, like, we are living in a world where we have the most privilege, we have the most advantage right now, but at the same time, the biggest thing that is hindering us from living to our highest potential, from reaching our highest purpose and living our dream realities, is distraction. And so I feel manifestation fits perfectly in modern world today, where the main goal of manifestation is to bring clarity to our visions, is to bring back our focus and allow us to prioritize what is our real internal desires and not whatever we are seeing on social media, what's trending, what the celebrities are doing. So the basic idea of law of attraction that I love is bringing clarity and bringing focus in the very first step, that is goal setting. That is like sitting down and figuring out what your real goals are, what your actual dreams are, and going a little more deeper than the surface level desires, which is like, I want money, but deep down, what I really crave for is a sense of freedom and security and being able to buy whatever I want, do whatever I want, and really feeling that sense of safety within myself. So you have to go a little deeper to find out what your core desires actually are. And having said that, another thing I think for me that is very important in my journey of law of attraction is gratitude practice. Because I feel like when you are in your journey of law of attraction, it's very essential that you have been already practicing gratitude. You're already in that space where you can recognize the blessings, the intuitive nudges that the universe is going to provide in your path while you are in your journey. And if you have never practiced gratitude, if you've never had awareness practices, somatic practices before you start your journey, it'll be hard for you to detect the opportunities, the random blessings, the random universal signs that are going to come your way once you start your process of manifestation after the goal setting. Once you're trying to align your vibrational energy with your ultimate desires, with your ultimate goal, it's much easier to detect the helps that will come along your way if you've already been practicing awareness and gratitude. And finally, the action thing, I think the second step of manifestation after goal setting comes the action part, which a lot of the coaches as well across the world miss out, because it's just like us and people seeing law of attraction from rose colored glasses and feeling like just think that you're a rock star, you're a rock star, you're a rock star, and tomorrow you'll wake up as a rock star. So I feel that's a very delusional way of living, and it's very important that you recognize the importance of work. We are living in a material world, and without action, you won't have your manifestation come into reality. Plus, at the same time, it also makes you feel really worthy from within, and that's one of the biggest goals of law of attraction. You have to feel worthy of your dream goals that you have in front of you, and you have to really align with that vibrational energy, right? So how will you feel that worthiness within you? When you're actually putting in the work, when you're actually devoted and disciplined, and have your goal in mind, and you're consistent in your actions, honestly. And finally, to touch a little bit upon the spiritual aspect, I think I'll mention about little bit about karma, because people often forget about the karmic blueprint. And I mention this because a lot of the healers in this space, a lot of the spiritual people, land upon law of attraction and other spiritual practices when they have already witnessed one extreme of life. They have done a lot of self sabotage, they have done a lot of like ugly things in their lives, and then they've had like so much of trauma, so much of struggle, and then they had some light bulb moment. They have their awakenings, and they turn towards law of attraction because they genuinely want to transform their life and contribute to the world in a much healthier way. And I mention this because when you are in your journey of manifestation, the karmic blueprints, the karmic consequences will be there. You'll have your own lessons while you're in the journey. It's not a like a magical thing that you decide you want something and it's going to come to you within a week or a month. I mean, it can, but it's the possibility of it is rare. So I mention this because if I want to tell you that if you really have that honest, genuine intention to have a beautiful life for yourself, to contribute to the world in a healthy way, to really come into alignment with yourself, your purpose, your mission on this planet, you can overcome the consequences of your past bad karma by increasing the amount of the good actions in the present moment. And if you have the honest intentions, if you're putting in the work, if you're really increasing the amount of good karma in the present moment, there is nothing that can stop you from reaching your desired goals at the end of the day.
That's
And
so good, Diksha. Like, really, people talk about law of attraction as something that you have to be delusional. It'll come to you if you just think about it and visualize at night. But that was such a nice and deep approach, and you're not like misleading people, making them think about like it's gonna happen this way, and then when people practice, it doesn't. So yeah, thank you so much for that. But yes, I would like to add, as you said, that you should take action. I think that's why I like to practice law of attraction with law of assumption, because yeah, law of assumption, some people say it's being delusional,
mhm,
but if you take a balanced approach between the two, so with law assumption, what you can do is embody your relatively higher self. And for me, it's really worked. Like, change your habits, change whatever you think you're sabotaging yourself with, you're sabotaging your goals and dreams with. So write down how your higher self looks like, what your
mhm.
approach in the next step of your life would be as a person, and take tiny little steps to change those habits. Identify where you are not showing up as that higher version. So I think that's a balanced approach that really helps people put their higher self in perspective, and also, detach from the outcome. Because if you just do that visualization, or just sit there and think about your goals and manifestations, you just are in this desperate energy that when is it going to come to fruition. But when you're taking conscious action, like you said, you are detached from the outcome and concentrate on the present. So that's something I think you guys should consider. um,
Yes, I think having that sense of trust in the belief that everything that is happening is for our highest good and the universe is supporting us. So even if there are detours in our journey, if even if you haven't achieved, let's say a particular material goal, you always know that there's something better in store for you, or you're just being protected, and you've just chosen some particular goal that is not in alignment with you, and it's just a sign of protection. So there's never a no in manifestation. It's either protection or there is something better coming your way.
Yeah, there's always redirection. Yeah.
Mhm. Now I'm curious,
Agree.
Mana, you do you feel like the negative thoughts also manifest for us? Because we do have those moments where we get into that cycle of negative loops and the patterns. Do you believe that negative thoughts manifest easily in our life?
I think not easily. Like if it's a passing thought, obviously it won't manifest. But if it's like an ingrained, I would not say negative thought,
Mhm.
but an ingrained limited belief. So if you are in this energy of lack, and then it would manifest, not in the sense that to a very extreme
Mhm.
sense, but you won't see more abundance that you than you already have. Like when we talk about negative thoughts, it's not like you'll have nothing, a home or car, but negative thoughts or limited beliefs can also manifest in the way that you are not
Mhm.
moving forward
Mhm.
from this contemporary situation that you are in life. So this is something I have seen in South Asian women. I have noticed in them, in our mothers, that because they
Mhm.
are content with the bare minimum, they think that they are satisfied with what, not what they have, but I am sure you can relate. Your mom's like, okay, no, I'll eat this. It was made in the morning. You can eat the fresh one. So like always keeping themselves in the back burners, never
Mhm.
honoring their desires, what they want, keeping everybody first. So, yes, that also manifests in some ways, in the sense they don't ask for what they deserve. So,
Mhm.
which I think our generation is breaking while breaking other generational curses. And Mm, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm really happy about that, that
Mhm.
you and I have taken that step. And I really liked when you sent me that list. And I'm sure, Antriksha sent me or everybody a list for her birthday with like a wish list what she wants. And the thing is, a lot of people have been doing this in the West. Like they have a registry, right? That we want this and you can give us this for a birthday or for wedding. But you can't do that in South Asian culture because it'll be like, no, what? Why are they asking us? Why are they making like are they entitled or something like that? So I think that's like a block or a limited belief that a lot of South Asian people have, that we need to get out of to really get what we deserve.
It took me a lot to press send.
No, I can like yeah, I can relate that. Of course, breaking these curses isn't easy. You have to maybe press the send button once or twice with the fear, with shaking
Mhm.
hands, but then it gets normal, it gets easier.
Mhm.
So I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Thank you. And I also feel like every dominant thought manifests, even if it's like fears within you. So it's very important that you realize the importance of inner work and healing while you are in the process of manifesting, because the universe picks up on energy. So externally, you can buy new clothes, you can buy new vegan products, you can do all the aesthetics. But if you have like subconsciously, you're wired and you have limiting patterns within you, for example, the self sacrificing trait of our moms, we see that, but there is like it comes up into our life when we are making any kind of decisions. So it's very important that you realize the importance of subconscious work and your internal patterns that you have while you are in the journey, and figure out a way to heal that, to sit with practitioners to kind of end those generational patterns for yourself, for your entire family, and then it'll become easier for you to manifest like bigger dreams for yourself.
Yeah, that's so true. We have this question a lot of times asked to us, that if everything is predestined, how is manifestation applicable? Then how can we co-create with the universe if everything is fated? So what are your thoughts about that?
I think as spiritual people, you and I both believe in astrology. We both believe in destiny. But having said that,
Mhm.
I'd like to explain a little bit about my kind of take for it. We have astrological charts. We have predictions for us that is based on all of our past karmic blueprint. And I believe there's a reason why we are born in a particular family at a particular time, in a particular place, in a particular country. There's a reason for everything, for where we are born and when and why we are born. Now, having said that, whatever that is there in your astrological charts, in your kundlis in Vedic astrology, if you lead a very normal decent life and will not do any kind of drastic changes in your life path. For example, you know what your family needs, you know what you want in your life, and there hasn't been any drastic transformation, any drastic leap. The astrological chart is totally accurate. However, if you realize that you are a powerful conscious creator, a powerful manifester, you start your healing journey, you start your inner work, you realize the power of yourself as an individual, and you come in true alignment with yourself, your purpose, and your power, you will know that you can take leaps. You can actually take the steering wheel of your journey on your hand, and you can change the destiny that has been predestined for you, right? So if it's like you're on level number 3 and you're making a grand decision for yourself, maybe traveling the world or switching an entire career path entirely, or doing something that has not been done in your family lineage, you change the entire course of your destiny. So you do have the power, and that is how manifestation comes in beautifully. You do have the power to create your dream life at the end of the day.
Yes, I 100% agree that we are the product of the choices we made in the past, not even in this life, in past lives. Yeah, no. People will deny, some people will deny past lives. Yeah,
But
we'll
this is
get
a
to that
spiritual
later.
podcast now.
Yes, we'll get to that later. Um, so yeah, even in your past lives, you are the result of the choices you made. So even if there are some aspects, so let me take up this analogy. Like, think of your life as an equation. Some We have some variables
Mhm,
and some constant in it. It's a simple mathematical equation like we did in high school. So these constants are the result of your past karma, as Antriksha said, and the variables are the choices you're going to make here on. And the result, the consequence,
mhm.
will be mixed of those two variables and constants. So that's how you know that not everything is predestined, and a lot of things depend upon your choices. And if the choices,
Absolutely.
also the intention behind those choices, if the choices was um, made out of love, or it was something made out of a place of ego. So that also affects a lot
Mhm,
of the things that happen to you in your life. And as far as astrology is concerned, yes, not or tarot reading or anything, like, people do like to predict future
mhm.
a lot, but the future is not set in stone. It also depends on your choices and how you make. You can easily change. If a tarot reader or a astrologer has predicted something for you, you can easily change that through your choices, through consciously working on yourself, or through manifesting healing or any self-love in your life. So even your charts keep progressing throughout your life depending upon the karma you accumulate. And even the transits that happen
Mhm.
during the year, they just heighten an area of your life. And what you do with that energy, it highly depends upon you. So yes, that's why we push you to make conscious life choices here. And the intention behind those
Totally.
choices, as I said earlier, should be pure. Otherwise the consequences can be dire, because intention is a very important part of manifestation as well.
Yes, I think that is why I feel like it's very important to go a little deeper than the surface level desires and goals that you have, and also be fluid in your manifestation, in the sense that if something is not happening, and not every, I would say, some manifestations don't happen, you keep that in mind, but there's always something better in store for you. For example, I'll give like an experience. I was desperate to get some goal, and I was really like, I want this, but it wasn't happening. And then there's like a tap on my shoulder, and the universe is like, this is for you. And I'm like, but I didn't ask for it, I don't need it, I need that thing out there. But then I kind of like, it was just dropped on my lap, and so I took my time to soak it in, I took my time to hold it in, and then I realized that this is what I actually need in this part of my life, and
Mhm.
this is the most beautiful thing that anyone can ever ask for. I didn't ask for it, but I actually needed it in my life. So the universe is always working in your favor. You might not accomplish some materialistic goal, but if your internal energy, if your vibrational frequency is aligned with the dream goals, with a bigger picture, with a bigger vision, your manifestations will happen in
Mhm.
a little different but more magical and beautiful ways.
True. Like, there's a saying, fake it till you make it.
Mhm.
But I believe that you can't fake with the universe. It knows your each and every vibration what you want. So even if you don't want, even if you're faking it with
Mhm.
yourself, universe
Yes.
knows what you want and it gives it to
Yes.
you at the right time. So also another thing I would like to talk about is divine timing. I mean, this is a phrase that's been thrown around a lot in spiritual community, and it took me a lot of
Mhm.
time to understand what it actually means. Because at first when I heard that, I thought, oh, it's about like a special clock that universe has. Because what is it? Because it doesn't match with my time. It's been years or something like that when your manifestation doesn't come, so you're like, oh, maybe it's a special clock that universe has, but it actually refers to your vibrational frequency, the vibration you embody. So the universe only gives you the manifestation when it really knows that you would be able to handle it. So
Mhm.
you wouldn't self sabotage after the man you have received that manifestation. So that's divine timing, when you improve yourself, when you address your blocks, when you know who you want to be in future to receive this manifestation that
Mhm.
you have.
Mhm.
What do you think about it, Antriksha?
I think the universe, as I believe, always works in our favor. So it's also like training us to hold whatever our desires are. So, as I mentioned, I was manifesting, I was trying to have a particular goal, but it was really, looking back in hindsight, I would say that was really a very tiny materialistic goal. And I'm glad that I didn't get that, because my kind of, I would have limited myself with that particular goal.
Yeah.
And the universe wanted me to kind of have a bigger and better goal for myself, which was really in alignment with who I am as a person. So I believe the universe is always kind of training you, giving you certain lessons, allowing a little detours in your path to really make you ready to hold whatever your real desires are within you. And there's never a no in manifestation by the universe. It's always trying to kind of shift you towards something bigger and better and greater for you.
Course. Yes, and exactly about the detours that you ask. Yes, so the manifestation doesn't really drop on your lap. I think that was something I realized way longer, that universe nudges you, gives you this experience that even if you're not sitting and reflecting consciously, like now we know what blocks we have and we address, but I wasn't like that when I started.
Mhm.
So universe had to put me in situations so that I could learn those lessons. And some people that I have observed in not spiritual community, from within the spiritual
Mhm.
community looking outside, and I was one of them, that they get stuck in this loop in those situations forever and keep repeating the same patterns. So that's also something you have to keep in mind when you are manifesting something, that you have to break out of that pattern. Universe has put you in the situation to learn a
Mhm.
lesson, and now you learn it and break out of it, because people stay there for years and years on, which we'll talk more about in the other episodes, but I would like to touch a little here, because it also blocks your manifestation from coming in.
Mhm. 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 Absolutely. And I think, uh, yes, I totally agree with that. And also, like, to kind of like go into what things that you've come across that should be avoided, I would love for us to touch upon that. Like a little bit of precautions, a little bit of things that we should be aware of when we are trying to manifest and when we are trying to attract our dream realities. So, how do you see it? And what have you learned so far?
I think I have a lot of observations that I'd like to share, but let me
Mhm.
start with something that I have been through. So I realized that I was a non-specific manifester. So a non-specific manifester is someone you can look up in your human design chart. And if you don't know what a human design chart is, we'll explain in upcoming episodes. So for right now, those who know, you can take up your human design chart and look at the bottom right arrow. If it's pointing towards the right, you're a non-specific manifester. If it's pointing towards the left, you're a specific manifester. So a non-specific manifester like myself needs to
Mhm.
focus on how they feel about certain things while they're manifesting. So I don't have to write everything in great details or visualize them in great details, but more like how I feel. If I live near sea, how would I feel if I had this job? But what I manifested wanted once was a job, because I wanted to work with this international organization. So what I thought was I would be able to help people through that. I would be able to make an impact. So that was my not delusion. That was my
Internal
motivation to
desire.
apply there. Yeah, internal desire, motivation to apply to that organization. But I did get the job, but the job I got was more or less unpaid for only 3 months, and I only had to do some paperwork that maybe the higher ups would seem monotonous, or like, to them. So I wasn't learning anything new. I wasn't making the impact like I wanted to make, and that was all because I concentrated on getting a job in this organization instead of focusing on, please universe, give me something that is that make enables me to help people, that enables me to make an impact on them. So now I've manifested that, so like I can, do small self projects like mind reset and this here. So it manifested through that, which I'm very grateful for. And also secondly,
Mhm.
this was like a very bad example. You shouldn't manifest a specific person. You should manifest qualities in a person instead of manifesting a specific person, just like I did with the job. But the person one applies to like everybody, what I think. And now, the most important part that I would like to share with everyone, which is also a public service announcement: please don't manifest your ex. I have seen so many coaches have this in their bios, that manifestation coaches, that I help you manifest your ex. Like, if these coaches are motivated genuinely, if they want to help people, they would never, ever, ever write that. If they're truly, their main motivation is not to earn money but to help people, because manifesting your ex is not only bad for you, but you're also interfering with somebody else's free will. So like,
Mhm.
spells make them obsessed with you, they will text you, no, because you are interfering with their free will, which has like a tenfold karmic imprint. So if you, even black magic, if you interfere with somebody's free will, it'll come back to you tenfold. And plus, it's not even good for you in the present moment, because they are out of your life for a certain reason. You can,
Yes.
in this journey, in at this point in time, they are not here because they can't help you grow further, they can't help you in future lessons. So that's why they're not
Mhm.
here. They've done their part, and it's done. Maybe in if the universe thinks in future you are on the same frequency or on the same path, you will reunite, but don't make a conscious effort to interfere with somebody else's free will. I think that was a really intense and passionate topic for me. So what about
And
you,
we
Antrish?
love that insight. I also feel exactly same. And the interesting thing is, when I started taking up courses specifically from like other mentors, and as I started engaging in spiritual communities, I thought that spiritual community was one area, one space where people were there for the actual devotion. People were there for the actual work, for raising the vibration of the planet. They had that kind of like deeper desire within them. But surprisingly, that's not the case. And I agree that half or majority of the community is full of people who are here for the wrong reasons, for the greed, for the label, for whatever superficial desires they have. It's also like an
Hmm.
escape. They're delusional. They're like, instead of healing themselves, they want to
Yeah.
heal everyone else and stuff like that. And when they kind of do that, they end up kind of misleading people. They end up putting other people on a path that is not really not just healthy, but it's not really,
Towards the enlightenment, or yeah,
not just
betterment, or
enlightenment. I think it puts you in a path that is very, very dangerous for you in the long run.
yeah.
As you mentioned, like you forget that there is free will. You forget that if you are desiring a particular person, that person can give you like you can have a reply back, you can have some sort of attention from them. But they, if you actually become like obsessive and crazy and do whatever things, they can come into your life and give you trauma for the
Hmm.
lifetime. There will be karmic consequences. Your entire traumas, your entire energies gets mixed up, and it's a bad place to be.
Hmm.
So yes, these things are there that I think is prevalent in today's
Yeah.
law of attraction spaces that needs to be stopped.
Yeah, true. And I think another thing that universe really values is balance, because it's a neutral energy. Like a lot of people think it's a love, light, positive energy, but actually it's neutral. So you either have to put in effort or you have to embody your higher self, because you have to put in something to get that manifestation. Another dark part, I wouldn't say dark, but another part um, is that your manifestation won't be sustained for long run if you manifest something without putting it in action or
Mhm.
embodying your higher self. Because you know how people win lottery, or people go to KBC, Kaun Banega Crorepati, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they win the money. But then, because they haven't put in any action, they don't value that money. Now it's just something they won, and now they're gonna spend it all in and indulge in their vices, and they don't know any better because they didn't embody their higher self. They didn't work on their vices, and now it's all gone, and they are in this even darker place than they were
Mhm.
before. So yeah, these are some things that can happen to you and are very much real. It's not all love and light, it's not all positive affirmation, I manifested a trip or whatever. It can bring some bad experiences, I would say, in your life if not done consciously and beware of
Absolutely.
your actions.
I don't think people realize that this is a true two-way street, and you have to contribute to the world in some way when you are desiring for some goal. For example, people want, I think the two biggest goals that people have when they think of manifestation is like money manifestation and manifesting a person. Those two are like the popular things here. Yes, but
One,
the
yeah.
you'll find so many testimonies online which mention that people have been crazy about money, and they have had like very superficial desires where they're like, I want
Hmm.
this large sum of money, but they haven't really sat down and thought about what in exchange of that money that I'm desiring, what am I really willing to contribute to the world. For example, successful entrepreneurs or business people or billionaires also, they do cater to the needs of the people in some way or the other. So there, it is a two-way street. If you are desiring not a particular person but like a very healthy romantic relationship for yourself, so you have to be willing to do the inner work and figure out what you are bringing to the table, instead of like, yeah, I want this person should be this and that and all of their values, but you should also be willing to work on yourself and figure out what you are bringing for them. So it's very important that you recognize what your contribution is, and from there on you start making your goals.
Yes, exactly. Entitlement doesn't work with the universe. Like, even if somebody comes to you and gives you a gift and you say, what is this? I don't like it. I wanted that. It won't work with you. You would never give them something like this. So, entitlement doesn't work with the universe. It won't give you, because you came in this world with nothing. You're going to go with nothing. So, everything is temporary. There's nothing yours. So, it doesn't, there is no this thing that I am doing this, so you have to give me this. There's no have. You are getting it. You should be grateful for it, and thank universe for everything you have in your life right now.
Have you heard like people have been crazy about money and then they kind of land up in an accident or in like huge debt, and they have to like sell their entire houses because they were just focusing on
Yeah.
like paper money. So the paper money did manifest for them, but in really brutal
Yeah.
ways.
And even like, you know how you get into car accident and the money manifests in form of insurance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if, when you are manifesting, try to keep your goals altruistic. Try to manifest from a place of love, that everybody stays safe, and it's not just about you. Universe has to keep everyone in mind. It's not your personal, private healer manifester. So yes, think about everyone. If you have a manifestation that's only applicable to you, maybe do something about people, do something for the people, be of service, which is another very important thing in spirituality.
Also, like coming back to, I think you mentioned earlier about the fake energy and universe can detect that. I think a lot
Mm,
of people feel like a manifestation is a scam because they kind of burn out after a month into it, after 6 months into it, 6 months into it, because they
mm,
have like really delusional goals and they're faking their energy. There has to be a good
mm.
amount of healthy
Mhm.
stress when you are putting in the action, when you are in that action mode, when you are trying to align
Mhm.
your frequency with the desired goals. There has to be some form of stress. It's natural. And when you keep like denying and suppressing those emotions, it kind of does that internal damage, and you're finally going to break down. You're finally going to suffer mentally and emotionally, and you're going to crash. And people have done that. They come to manifestation with a lot of like expectation, fairy tale expectations, but they just don't want to work, they just don't want to heal. And that is why I continuously remind people
Mhm.
of the healing process and the action process.
Yeah, of course. This is like not the we really took out the fairy tale part from manifestation and really give a reality check to the people. I think this was much needed because what have been seeing around in YouTube's or in channels, it's very damaging. And I and you, we both know we are not in this community to get that money or whatever. We genuinely want to help people, and so I think maybe it would trigger some of you, and I'm really sorry for that, but it's really something you guys need to hear.
And I also feel like for me personally in my journey, the materialistic successive have come along the way when I have kind of
Mhm.
consciously been on the journey of manifesting the internal growth, manifesting my personal spiritual evolution, and doing the work within. So I think, like for example, when I first got introduced to manifestation, I saw a lot of negative testimonies. People are going to different
Mhm.
lengths, going crazy about their goals. So I kind of like closed my exploration. I closed my
Mhm.
digging part into manifestation. But after a few
Yeah.
months, I landed upon this quote on Instagram, which was speaking about the power of love. And something hit me. And I was like, I have that much of compassion within me that I don't want to hurt people along the way. I have pure intentions. I'm willing to do the work. And I know that God
Mhm.
protects you if you really are like, not if you, but like if you are a good person, you have the honest
Yeah.
intention, there is what is there to be
Yeah.
afraid of, really? Like thinking from a very logical perspective, you cannot be denying your highest expression, your highest potential, your highest purpose because of whatever reasons, because of whatever you've read online, and you just tune into your frequency of love, be rooted in that, and it's going to be all good. And for me, I think from the beginning, the internal work, my subconscious wiring has always fascinated me, and I've approached coaches. I've taken lots of courses to kind of rewire that subconscious patterns within myself, because I realize they interrupt with my decision making, right? So for example, last August only, I was with a coach, I was doing the work, and then we couldn't figure out, there wasn't any big blockages
Mhm.
in my mind, but there were like still traces of like self sacrifice that we mentioned earlier, or still traces of like people pleasing, a little bit here and there of a lack of self love. And what really popped for me in after working with this coach was like,
Yeah.
I knew things at an intellectual level because I'm learning, I'm also coaching other people, but it's that's why coaches also need other coaches, that's why healers also need other healers to bring that into awareness, right? So I kind of like, what I got out of those coaching sessions were like, yes, I'm blocking my receiving energy, my receiving feminine energy. And that is I started sitting with it, and within like 15 days, I remember somebody offered to
Yeah.
pay for my lunch, and I was hesitant about it, but then I graciously kind of thanked them, accepted them for that particular lunch. And then I was a part of another Facebook group with a female coach, and there was some conversation going on. I generally don't engage because I like personal conversations more, but then I dropped my opinion on something which was along the lines
Mhm.
of self love. And in about 24 hours, I get a personal DM from that coach. She's very famous, and she said that she picked me out, and she's offering me her course, which not just like a scholarship, but her entire course for free, which
Oh,
was worth
wow.
thousands of dollars.
That's amazing. Like
And
that
it
was, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
and it took me, like, I won't lie, it took me entire 24 hours to soak that energy, because it was just there in front of me, and I was offered that. And that course,
Yeah.
the course was entirely about subconscious work. It had the somatic practices, it was speaking about wealth consciousness and abundance, and clearing your feminine blockages of receiving and all of that, which just, I never
Wow.
consciously manifested it, but I'm telling you this
Mhm.
because it's like the materialistic manifestation help came
Yeah.
into my life when I was doing like the internal work.
Yeah. So exactly, yes, that's what I mean by co-creating with the universe. Like Antriksha just took one tiny step and started receiving, and universe came in and then gave her what she needed, the tools she needed to be her higher self. That's amazing. That's really nice. Yeah. And when you said no, other healers need other healers, I had this like a meme in mind where people are like, "You are a psychologist. Why do you need therapy?"
Oh.
But yeah, anyways, what you were talking about feminine energy, yes, that was because a lot of feminine energy has been blocked in the world, or a lot, all of it has been blocked, not, yeah. And same has been with me. Like if some, I have not been in my receiving energy for quite some time, so if someone gives me a compliment, as simple as that, just a compliment, I feel like I have to give them two or three times more compliments to balance that. Or if somebody does something for me, so that there is, this balance, because I don't know where this stems from right now, but yeah, that receiving energies
Humbling
was blocked
women.
in my subconscious as well. Sorry.
Humbling women has always been a thing of this world.
Humbling.
But not just for women. I think it goes for everyone. We all have feminine energy. So like it's
Mhm.
blocked for all of us globally. And I teach this to people. The final step of manifestation is the detachment thing that you've already mentioned. Once we have put in the work, we're doing everything, we are shifting our lifestyle, we're making the changes, drawing the boundaries, doing everything. The final part comes, the detachment part, where it's like you've done the work and now you're open to the results, and it's always going to be better. You remember that, and then you like it's difficult. That part is difficult, but at the same time you also work. What I teach people is the art of receiving, that you're open to receiving help, you are open to saying thank you, you're graciously accepting things when they're coming your way, and you remove that blockage, because the blessings, the manifestation can come in many different forms for you.
Yes, so true. When I was introduced to feminine energy, like feminine energy is this energy that doesn't chase, it attracts. I used it in I used it like in such a toxic way, it was in the sense that I wouldn't put any effort in my manifestation. I would just sit there, no, I am in my feminine energy, I'll not chase, I'll attract. But the truth is, you have to switch from feminine and masculine to keep doing that. You can't be in one extreme
Mhm.
energy. So to for me to say that I would not chase, I attract, was extremely my way of escaping hard work, which is also something you guys should not do.
I think I explained it in the conscious relationship workshop that we had.
Uh-huh.
Like we have both the energies, masculine and feminine, within us, and one core energy. For both of us, it's a feminine energy, but like we have both masculine and feminine energy. Feminine is more like the creative, intuitive wisdom, and the masculine is like the action part, the structure, the implementation of things. And we need to bring both of them into alignment for our manifestations to come into
Physical fruition, yeah,
fruition.
that's true.
I think I want to ask like the final question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything left on your path that is coming to you?
No, not at all, not yet now.
Okay, so my final question is like, Manya, do you think can we manifest anything in this world?
Yes, I think you can manifest anything in this world, but anything can also be taken away from you. So if the manifestation, as we have mentioned so many times, is not done from a love intention, it's egoistic, and then you use that manifestation for not the betterment of the world, but maybe for selfish reason or something that only benefits you and harms others, it can also be taken away from you. And as I mentioned about the money thing, you can also go in a dark place and be, your situation can be worse than it was before. So we have seen
Mhm.
so many examples of this. Even our scriptures have mentioned so many examples of this, that people have prayed to God, they have given this boon to the people, the gods have given the boon, but then they were quick to take it away when they saw that these boons are not being used in the right way. So you can manifest. It also depends upon your energetic frequency. but it can also be taken away from you. So keep in mind, why are you manifesting? Are you hurting someone? Uh, f- is the motivator just money, is just fame, it's just power, or is it genuinely helping people out of love? So yeah, that's my take on it. What's your take on it, Antriksha? Can we manifest anything in the world?
I do think yes, we can manifest anything in this world if you're putting in the work. We are doing all the like the aesthetics also, like the work also, the discipline also. We can manifest anything in this world, but at the end of the day, it's about sustainability. Similar to what you've mentioned, it's about
Mm-hmm.
sustainability. If something is not in alignment with your highest good and the highest good of this world, it's quick to leave your life as well. So for sustainable joy, for sustainable success, for sustainable money, you have to take into account of what you are contributing, what you are healing, what your internal actual desires are, and what are the surface level things, what are the things that you've seen on Instagram, and you have to be taking those things into account, and then sitting down for your goal settings and the manifestation journey.
Yeah, I would. I think this is not the episode to talk about. I mean, in other. So, yes, I think we took a very different approach to manifestation today, Antriksha, and
Mhm.
hopefully our audience got a new perspective, got a fresh view of how you should look at manifestation. And please practice the techniques and everything we said today while you manifest. Keep in mind that intentions and karma are important, and hopefully you heal into a version that's full of love. And remember to use it for not only just material things but your body, spirit, and mind as well. And
Yes.
share your success story with us. You can DM us on Instagram, or you can just comment here. And you can also DM Antriksha and ask her about her workshops. She also holds one-on-one manifestation sessions, and also other coaching. You can DM and ask her. And yes, thank you for tuning in. Would you like to say some last words, Antriksha?
I think there are a lot of techniques, a lot of methods, and the online space is full of different methods. It's 369 visualization, 555, and you can find those easily online. But I hope that you keep this video in mind to have like a little bit of deeper layers in mind when you are in the process of manifesting. Happy manifesting, keep your intentions, keep your heart pure, and the universe is always working in your favor.
Yeah. See you next episode. I don't know why I did
Yeah.
that. No.
No, it's okay. I also did that one. It was a reflex response.